Belle Gibson was a picture of radiant health. She was young, vibrant, and seemingly bursting with life. The young Australian captivated audiences with her incredible story. At just 18, she had been diagnosed with terminal brain cancer. Doctors gave her just months to live, but Gibson defied the odds. She rejected conventional medicine. She embraced a holistic lifestyle instead. Through diet, exercise, and alternative therapies, Gibson claimed to have cured her cancer. Gibson's story resonated deeply with people. Here was a young woman, staring death in the face, who took control of her destiny. She became a beacon of hope. People battling their own health challenges found inspiration in her journey. Gibson's message was clear: you have the power to heal yourself. Social media became her platform. She shared her story with the world. Her followers, captivated by her narrative, grew exponentially. They hung on her every word, eager to embrace her life-altering advice. Gibson was quickly becoming a social media sensation. She was the ultimate wellness guru. Her story was simply too compelling to ignore. Gibson's newfound fame opened doors. She was invited to speak at conferences. Her advice was sought after by countless individuals. Her star was on the rise, fueled by the compelling narrative she had so carefully crafted. The world embraced her as a symbol of hope and resilience. Little did they know that behind this carefully constructed facade lay a web of deceit. The truth, as it always does, would eventually come to light. Belle Gibson's star continued to rise. Her story, a beacon of hope to so many, was about to become a lucrative business. Capitalizing on her fame, she launched The Whole Pantry, a health and wellness app. The app, a natural extension of her social media persona, promised users a healthier life. It featured healthy recipes, lifestyle tips, and of course insights into Gibson's own healing journey. The app was an instant success. People flocked to download it, eager to embrace Gibson's seemingly miraculous approach to health. The Whole Pantry quickly climbed the App Store charts, becoming one of the most downloaded apps in Australia. It was even featured by Apple. Gibson's empire was growing, built on the foundation of her fabricated cancer story. The success of the app paved the way for her next venture, a cookbook. Riding the wave of her popularity, Gibson released the Whole Pantry cookbook in 2014. The book, a beautifully photographed collection of recipes and wellness advice, was marketed as a roadmap to a healthier life. It became an instant bestseller. Gibson's empire was thriving. She had amassed a fortune, all thanks to her fabricated story. The money flowed in from app sales, book deals, and speaking engagements. Gibson was living a life of luxury, a far cry from the cancer patient she pretended to be, but her elaborate web of lies was about to unravel. The truth, always a stubborn thing, was about to surface. As Belle Gibson's fame reached its peak, cracks began to appear in her carefully constructed facade. Journalists, smelling something amiss, started digging deeper into her story. Inconsistencies emerged. Dates didn't add up. Medical records were non-existent. The cracks were widening, threatening to shatter the image Gibson had so meticulously crafted. One glaring discrepancy stood out: Gibson's charitable donations. She had repeatedly claimed to donate a significant portion of her earnings to various charities. However, these claims proved to be false. Charities came forward, denying ever receiving any donations from Gibson. The truth was out. The generous philanthropist was nothing but a sham. In 2015, The Australian, a leading Australian newspaper, published an exposé. They meticulously documented the inconsistencies in Gibson's story, exposing her lies for the world to see. The backlash was swift and brutal. Gibson's followers, the very people who had worshipped her, felt betrayed. Their anger and disappointment were palpable. The walls were closing in on Gibson. She could no longer hide behind her carefully crafted persona. The truth was out. The world now knew that the cancer survivor, the wellness guru, the generous philanthropist, was nothing but a fraud. Her empire, built on a foundation of lies, was crumbling around her. The consequences of her deception were about to catch up with her. The fallout from Belle Gibson's deceit was substantial. Stripped of her carefully cultivated image, Gibson faced the consequences of her actions. The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, ACCC, launched legal action against her. They alleged that Gibson had engaged in misleading and deceptive conduct. The evidence was overwhelming. In 2017, a judge found Gibson guilty. She was ordered to pay a hefty fine, a punishment that reflected the gravity of her deception. The court condemned her for exploiting the goodwill and vulnerability of her followers. Justice, it seemed, had been served, but the damage had been done. The emotional toll on Gibson's followers was significant. Many felt betrayed, their trust shattered. They had believed in her, found hope in her story, only to discover it was all a lie. The saga served as a stark reminder of the dangers of blindly trusting information online. Gibson's story, however, was far from over. She continued to court controversy. In 2020, she was accused of falsely claiming to be a member of the Oromo Ethiopian community. Her story, once a source of inspiration, had become a cautionary tale. The rise and fall of Belle Gibson was chronicled in the Netflix series Apple Cider Vinegar, a stark reminder of the power and peril of social media and the very human cost of deceit.